Hi, welcome again to another edition of Market Analysis for today, June 5th of 2025. I'm Gio Benacourt, and this is a recording done by Vantage Markets right about 50 minutes prior to the US session open. Let's take a look at what we could speculate for today's market fluctuation with the initial jobless claims just came out of the United States. It came out higher than expected. It came out at 247,000 new applicants versus the 236 consensus. So that's 11,000 more than what was expected. In this daily candlestick chart, we're seeing that the market is in an uptrend, as it's been making higher highs, higher lows, and today it has done. It's on its fourth consecutive day. So we basically are in an uptrend. Now, after this news, well, this has taken, obviously, some steam of that momentum to the upside, looking to reach 22,000, but it was quite obviously not even 21,900. So let's go down to half an hour and take a look at what we can speculate as or identify levels of probable levels of support and resistance. So therefore, since we have that social swing on this candlestick half an hour, let's just use that swing low as a possible level of support. The market is trending lower. We do see some sort of a double top here with these two wicks here. Let's just leave that as a possible level of resistance, and let's use the upper boundary band as our second level. Now, this is obviously in the half hour, so we still have a way to go before the market opens for the US session. So let's see if the market took that with a grain of salt and is looking to rebound. At least we have now the market above the 50-day moving average and the medium. Well, at least above the 50-day moving average, and the medium is actually doing some of this dynamic work as a probable level of resistance. So let's see if the market will be able to trade above that. Let's take a look at the S&P. Well, we have the same particular swing low, so we want to use that as a possible level of support, and 59.88. which again is basically those two, the double top there, the previous one also, and also coincides with the upper boundary band. So let's just use that, even though obviously it should be up here, but for argument's sake, let's just leave it there for today. Then we have the Dow. It's more of a red, if you will, so let's just use that in this half hour. I'm gonna use 42,430, and then as resistance goes, that's way too high. Let's just use this level and the upper boundary band, which coincides with the double top with the candles. So we have those levels. Crude oil. So do we need to see a crude oil around 64? Will we see a crude oil around 64 trading today? Well, during the London session, it had a nice bump to the upside, but it did correct it that hour and a half in half an hour. But now we're just basically looking to break out of that range. Let's see if it'll find a bid. So let's just use the upper boundary band. Let's leave that particular level of resistance. 6270 could be a second level. So again, geopolitical uncertainty continues to happen. Nat Gas has done a parabolic movement in this half hour. So flip as high as 350. So let's just use that as a first level of resistance. See if it'll revisit that swing high. And since we have done such a parabolic movement, we can come in and contemplate a level of support, first level around this area, the volume cluster, and then 347. So it seems to be having our size just about to enter overbought territory, but the momentum is picking up. So let's see. Oh, that's most likely will hit our levels. Gold. So in the daily candlestick, let's go back to the daily. The daily candlestick, gold was making in the last few days, obviously with today's fluctuation, it was making an ascending triangle, if you will. It was making this triangle. It broke up to the upside. So we're gonna have tomorrow the NFP numbers. Yesterday's ADP numbers came out lower than expected. So the consensus for the non-farm payroll is 125,000. So anything lower than that, below 100K, we could probably will see a more of a different, the same fluctuation or behavior in the markets as we did yesterday. So will that, depending on how far up do we close, if we close higher today, will we close, can we speculate that we'll close the week around 3,500? Well, if the number is pretty bad tomorrow, let's see what will happen. If it's very good tomorrow, let's see what will happen. So, but the speculation is on my behalf is that I'm looking for it to close around 3,500. The market right now is actually in this half hour is respecting this level, around this level 3,400, which is a psychological value. But the futures market has already yesterday fluctuated above 3,400. So actually made like 3,409. So if we continue to have that same behavior, then we can speculate to see the market also trading around that level today. So 3,410, that's why I have my second level. But first we need to break that psychological value of 3,400. But I'm looking for buy, looking to go higher. Silver, well, silver is making, wow, silver made a strong move to the upside. I doubt 37. I'm gonna use that the upper boundary band, and 35.5, and then the medium for second. Hey, that's a strong parabolic movement. Plateau basically making a couple of congestion and breaking up to the upside. Dollar index must have taken a hit also after that number. Copper, hey, $5 for copper is basically where the upper boundary band is heading towards. So let's use that. I'm gonna use this swing highs here with the wicks as a possible level of resistance, 492, and then the medium. So nice move to the upside, $5. Copper, Bitcoin has another parabolic movement to the upside. So let's just use 106 psychological value and leave that same level. As far as support, 105 to 100 initially. Actually, this double top right here, 50-day moving average, my second one. So looking for a higher leg, another leg up. The currencies, so these are whipsaws, strong move to the upside on the currency. So 114.5 actually, and then the second is I'm just going to use around number 114.600. As far as support, initially this double top here, which is close to where it was, but also the crossing of the moving averages. Let's see how much move to the upside will have. Then we have the pound, which also made a nice move to this. 136 is the psychological target. So 136, 100. Initially also this double top right here, and the medium of the Bollinger Band. Looking for another leg up. The dollar index, well, this half hour it up and gap down, so strong movement to the downside. So let's 98.5, and then the medium as a possible level of resistance. That was some good news anyhow for the unemployment. So tomorrow's non-farm payroll could indicate it may not meet its expectations of 125,000. That's it for today. Have a great trading day, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll also do, sorry about that, I'll do another video 1 hour into the trading session to just tighten up our levels and see the direction of the market. See you later.